what's up guys, it is me, Floatinurboat. The intro was a bit too long, too overbearing. So yeah. Essentially we're doing some melodic dubstep from 0 to hero, first to worst, second to best. Entire process. Let's get it done. Okay, so we currently have this little like 105 ppm project. Very simple, very easy. Let's dive deeper into it. So essentially we have a bass line. There we go, sorry. I need to save this project. Today is what, the 10th? Sheesh. 10th of the 3rd of 2020. Okay, so this is like the original, and then if I do a save as, and then call it Melodic Dubstep stream, because that's what it is. Day 7, 10th, 3rd, 2020. Perfect, bang. So melodic dubstep we usually start on about 140 ppm. It's just how it is, so what we usually do. Pretty standard. It's quite nice. Anyway, sorry. So I usually start out with a bass line. I'm using something I made earlier on. Essentially it's just a synth, like if we go for every oscillator. It's a very wide panned thing from Animig. Just this ugly wave, essentially. If I look into the editor, it's like scratchy. Bend plus minus. You can pretty much just copy the entire process. And the sustain's gone down a little bit, so it gives it a bit more oomph. And I'm doing the song in the key of A major, so that's where my bass line is. Do, 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 do. I was thinking of going up to C. But I'm not really feeling it, so we're not going to do that. Yeah, sick, cool. And the chords, so the chords are usually based off the bass line. Just 4-note chords, bass line. Do, 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 and then you play melody. That sort of creates the ambience. For like another 4 bars, you go bam, 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 bam. up, and then you move on to the drop. Very easy, simple stuff, essentially. Melodic dubstep's not difficult, it's not complicated. In fact, it's quite the simple thing. So if we're going to do it from scratch, I'm going to copy this bassline over into a empty serum, and plonk it in here. So I'm going to do it each one of these sounds essentially differently when the drop hits. So this is going to be like a growl sort of thing. We'll go like wow, there we go. I see the bass table somewhere and I can't find them. See, I can't find the wavetable that I'm feeling at the moment. And usually this process is pretty long and boring. Some distortion, a bit of this. That's way too wide. Flanger as well. Turn off that, turn off that. And then if we add, actually not in here, I don't like adding the filter prior. Go into misc. Hey bum. So here I'd rather, yeah, so I'd do a build up and I'd go like and then I don't actually need all this stuff because it's just this one note. So render that out. that's your first bass note. So we'll link it all to this, and we'll call it bass drop. I've also got it hooked up to a sidechain. So your sidechain is essentially just a note. And then it's routed by sidechain to this, which is linked to a compressor, a sidechain compressor. Low threshold, high ratio, no attack, high release, and then that's it. And then you link sort of notes, and it adds a bit of sidechain. So probably get like a snare going, because melodic dubstep snares are very sort of specific. Well, they're not specific, they're pretty much just 909 snares with like a bit of extra distortion, or less. They're punchy snares, to say the least. So if I go through all my samples, which is a lot of samples, get like a 909. And this is sort of the building process of a snare. So if I make a filter group, snare build, and that's got like a nice sort of thing to it. And then I have some more 909s that I kind of like, which I can't find at the moment. They're there. And then you have like some really hard, like which have just got some like extra. Not a fan. Oh, claps. So I've put a clap as like a layer sort of thing. Just gives it some extra noise, so you've got like and then you probably want to add in like an extra clap that I can't think that I like. And then you go into Q, the whole process, the whole usual sort of find what's important. So in this clap we have our, like, I don't want that sort of noise, or sorry, I only want the noise. Makes that a bit punchier. And then I would add a compressor, so I'm gonna use a free compressor, just give it a slow attack to tighten it up. And that makes it sit like a tiny bit better. And this one's more here for the noise. So when putting them all together, essentially you want to open up all your I like to use this virtual machine rack, or virtual mix rack, sorry, from Slide Digital. we'll start with our compressor. Just pretty standard, like an EQ, very subtle. I like to use sort of the channel, not the channel, sorry, the SSL type. So there's absolutely no bottom on this essentially. And then another EQ just to take away. So I need the rim shot as well, like the actual hit of the snare. So if I go into music radar, essentially there is there you go. And that's very basically how you would make a melodic dubstep snare. There's not much to it. I prefer to use samples most of the time. But if you're making it from scratch, that would be it. And then you can also pitch that so that you sort of it fits the song. So it's like doom doom tsh. I just figured out why that was doing that. Anyway, sorry. If I clear out this, because this is no longer needed. See, because I have a bunch of serums open, it's killing my PC very slowly. And then have contact open as well, that's actually not helping. Let me render that, and then I can get rid of that. Perfect, so now I can do one less serum, one less contact. Cool, so we have our snare, now let's add in a kick. Kicks I'm not going to make from scratch. I have a few kicks that I've made from scratch using a plugin called Kick 2. And I do that in Ableton just because I find it a bit easier. These are quite bassy kicks, so and then you go dum dunch. And the part everyone actually is looking forward to, so I would replace. So they make chord stacks. It's very long and tedious process. So I have a separate sort of FLP that's actually used for that. But let me turn the swing down. Essentially, it's just a bunch of saw waves in layers and layers and layers and layers and layers. Big trance, which is essentially a preset. Sorry, which is a preset from, I can't remember what exactly. If I find it and open it up for you. Sounds very nice. Nice and cool. And I add that note so that the reverb can sort of sieve through. So if I render this once, essentially I'm looking for about 12 layers. And that should be the best sort of thing. Get into how it actually sounds together later on. So dedicate 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All chord stacks. So we have this, our first layer. It's another one. It's just a bunch of detuned pads that are all slightly different. Render that, add to the layer, render that, add to the layer, render that, add to the layer. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Until you've done it all, essentially. Do I have any other? I can't remember if I do or I don't. If not, we'll make one from scratch, and that should. No, we don't. That's right. So, initiate the preset. A saw wave, 7 voices, and then detune that, and then number 7. Basically, they'll just have different properties. Make that slightly limit. Inverse the wave. That's all it is. And you make a bunch of those layers. Everyone's a bit more different than the last. And then together it gives it like a full sound because you're filling out like the spectrum of all the sounds, the space, and then it creates like a full sound. Okay, so next I'd pretty much just go for like all the plugins that I have. JP6K basically has phenomenal sounding. The only problem with that is very way noisy. Okay, right, let me put that in the stack, put that there, add it here, or a third of the way there. And you probably think, that sounds very good. No, it doesn't, not yet. Sorry, I'm trying to download like Warzone in the background. Okay, what next do we have? Harmor. Harmor, I love and adore. I think it's probably one of the better sounding synths there is. So you can have it normally. I don't know if Warzone's out yet, and it's down. It's a bit of a struggle, not gonna lie. And then if you make a super solid I like using blurred. See, to me, Harmor just sounds a little bit 80s, and I think that's such like a powerful sort of tool when doing the thing. Is Warzone's not out yet? Beepity beep, beepity beep. Okay. Right, so we're halfway there. Next up, we have, where is it? Citrus. Okay, so I have another stack of Citrus. Sostank. Now this one's very dirty sounding, just because the saws are a bit, well, the waves, table was a bit odd and distorted. That it should be Gucci. You want sort of different sound synths. Ideally, you probably want about 12 instances of Serum, because you can manipulate the wavetables so much better in there. Okay, sick. So what do we have left? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 left. So let's plunk that in, sorry Q. basically we just get a bunch of like almost sounding saws. So these are all saw waves, but they're from analog sort of emulations, and that's why they're just a tiny bit different from your usual. It's a very tedious process. That's why I have like a template set up. And essentially, I've done this once, and then you put in all the MIDI of this, and you simply just chuck it all in, and it renders it all for you. So we have 3 left. Obviously, for the sake of quickness, I'm not going to do another bunch, because I think it sounds okay. So first of all, I high pass everything. Melodic Dubstep doesn't need. So I have a preset. It's just a very small cut, just to get all the lows out, because we're going to add some more volume. So it's important to get those out before it distorts the sound in a way that we don't want. So these two sound quite similar, and what I want to do now is widen them a bit. So I will go into a stereo shaper and simply do this for this one, and do the opposite for this one, and they obviously won't be exact, which is the whole point, so that it gives it some width. Go into a plugin called S1 Imager, which essentially and it's purely stereo listening. To apply like and I'll apply this thing called Gulfos, which is essentially an AI, well, a smart EQ that automatically cuts everything. And then we're going to add a compressor, so essentially I want to glue up the sound a little bit, because there's a lot of different sounds. I'll apply a really sort of subtle okay, so now I can render that fully. And play about with that, with how I see fit. I've lost my folders. Right, music. Sick. So now we have all of this to work with. And it's a lot more clean, a lot more organised. And I can technically delete all of this. So I have clear, chord stack. And if you want to give it a bit more width, what you would do is I would make a new layer, duplicate it, add to here, add OTT, take away the highs, take away a bit of that, add the distortion plugin, punish it. So this is and then basically apply a bandpass at like 400 hertz. And then on top of that, we're gonna add another OTT. And then balance. Sorry, I've lost my balance. Balance is like your volume. Essentially this just applies as like a parallel compressor. Okay, sick. And it's really annoying me that there's what do you call it? It's because I've got two serums running. Okay, so I can get rid of that, and I could probably put this in. Okay, so really that's it. I like to add some ARPs, some leads, sort of spice it up, makes it a bit more prettier. I might render this out actually. Add that here. Put it to the sidechain. Clear this. Wasn't it? Just getting on track download like Anyway, sorry, I was talking about ARPs. ARPs are very simple. It's like so if I initialize this preset, make like a plug, probably make it I like using this wave and then pairing it with a sine wave. And then adding like a tiny bit of distortion, hyperdimension, and then adding the synchronizer just so you guys can hear. And then just knowing the notes. So these are the notes that sort of fit the chords, because it's an A major, so you've got your A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp. It's not an A major, it's where's your music theory at? Oh wait, so if that's B, so it's B minor, which is the same thing as B, do. I don't know, my brain's, oh no, B minor means it's D major. Had like a weird blip there. Do 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 do. So you go do 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 do. Basically just going like a downward fashion with this like one note. And then E is probably your best note. 6. High pass, go like doodle doodle doo. Okay, so. Okay, what else can we do? We can add a lead. So if I do this, like that goes on for a while. Okay, if we add another lead now, so if I initialize the preset once again. No, okay, so. It just sounds nice. It sort of works. It's all about creating that wall, so. Okay. Very simple chords. And the thing with this isn't the main lead either. This is just a nice sort of background sound. The main leads are going to be lower and more in like the mid-range, I think. Because I feel like this is just a nice highlight, but nothing more. So if I add that over here, and then sidechain as well. Ooh. Maybe easier if I dock these to the left, so when I scroll, they're always there. And now, the main part, the lead. So the lead is usually a nightmare because it's quite easy to make, and like what I'm thinking, it's just a nightmare to implement and make a melody that works, because it's all about making a catchy melody essentially. So if I clear, if I clear this again, add that there. Go with oops, I know I don't have you. Add a high pass filter, and then we're gonna add an effector, which is just a distortion, and then add a balance. And there we go. And obviously an EQ. I'm gonna use Harmor because I like sliding notes. Ooh, that sounded awful. Oops. I don't like this distortion. It sounds a bit weird. And then if I add a portamento, I can like... Do you know what, it's not worth it. The slides. I'm honestly better off doing this. Whereas FL keys, this is like the secret to Floatinurboat music. It's literally just FL keys, effector. There you go. Hey Josh, what's up? And there you go. And then you repeat and repeat and repeat until it sounds cool, and you go do do do. See, I don't like how early that comes in. Not Quailing Boat. Most of my songs have this lead in it, believe it or not. If you go check out on SoundCloud and you look at my music. See, nothing too crazy, nothing too special, just bloop 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 bloop. This is echoes. Fruity loops. Fruity loopy doopy doo doo. Although I do think this is a bit of a banger, I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting quite into it. Do, 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 do. It's quite catchy, isn't it? I like it. Right. Boom, bam, bam. Bada, bada, bing, pow. And then what I like to do is make a duplicate layer, make it unique, drown it in reverb, so ladies and gentlemen, is pretty much it. Secret to melodic dubstep. Right, the real secret is actually cymbals. Cymbals make or break out in melodic dubsteps. Whether you admit it or you don't admit it, is what happens. So every fourth note. Unorganized files. So on the offbeat, on the tss, tss. Although I kind of like the aggression of it. So this would be like the big crash, and you'll go like. the other one. Okay, so now we have like our tune. I'm sorry to like rethinking that I'm not too keen on this now. There we go. And then if we add the bass back in. Just want to thicken up that bass essentially. Because the bass usually sort of drives it. And I like it low pass so that very simple sort of melodic dubstep drop. that's it. That's melodic dubstep in a nutshell. We can sit down another day and like actually work through. I don't know. There's nothing really else. You know, you do a build up. You add some ambience, which is just this with reverb. Hold on. I don't have it hooked up to anything to edge it out. So you do this. You go, and then you do this. And then a low pass filter, and then you've got ambience, and then you add like a bunch of uplifters going like do 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 do. Sick. It's been a pleasure as always. Love you lots. Eat toast and stay healthy. Bye guys. I'm Floatinurboat. See ya.